What is my long term objective of starting this company? And is this in line with my lifestyle goals? Most people feel like, hey, you know what, let me just start a business so that I get more free time and I can make more money and I can have more time to spend with my family and to spend with my friends. Hey, what's up? My name is Karan and I am the CEO of the Marketing Nerds, and I'm super excited to be talking to you in the third episode of the Marketing Nerds podcast. And in this episode, I want to talk about the one question that you should seriously and really consider before you jump on to be an entrepreneur and start your own business. Well, this is really important and something that's really close to my heart. So I'm really excited about talking to you on this topic. So let's quickly dive on to the topic for today. Now, it's a really cool thing that a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs and, want to join the cool bandwagon of becoming an entrepreneur and starting a new business. It's a really cool thing, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's a great thing that to see so many people wanting to be entrepreneurs. But even before you jump into starting your business, here's a question that I want you to seriously consider and ask yourself. The question is, what is my long-term objective of starting this company? And is this in line with my lifestyle goals? Let me repeat the question again. What is the long-term objective of starting this company or starting a new business? And is that in line with your long-term lifestyle goals? Here's the problem. Most people who want to start a company or start a new business, I personally feel grossly underestimate the amount of effort, hard work, and skills it would take to start and grow a business. Most people grossly underestimate these three factors. Most people feel like, hey, you know what, let me just start a business so that I get more free time and I can make more money and I can have more time to spend with my family and to spend with my friends. But here's the truth. When you're starting a company and if it actually becomes successful, right, 95% of the company fail in the first 5 years and only the remaining 5% break even in the next 5 years. So you see, the ratio of success is really small. And on top of that, let's assume that if your company actually is successful, if your company is growing, you're not getting a lot of free time, because the more your company grows, the more you will be involved in the management, in the functioning, in the organizing, and every little aspect of your company. So again, you want to consider that, is this something you really want to do? What exactly is the drive behind starting the company? So if I go back to my personal example, when I started my first company, well, it wasn't my dream to be an entrepreneur. My dream was actually to be an actor. But I started the company out of desperation. Like, I had no choice but to work to start a company so that I could eat food, I could pay my rent, I could pay my bills. So was it in line with my lifestyle goals? Absolutely not. But it just happened. And I had no choice. But 2 years down the line, when I had worked for a long time and had saved quite a bit of money, I was driven by the need to prove to other people that, hey, you know what, I could also have a business. I wanted to prove it to people in my family, to say that, I can actually run a business. I can have people working for me. And I just jumped onto getting a new office and starting a new business without really calculating and realizing or evaluating that, hey, is this really what I like as a person? Is this who I am? Do I really want to be going to an office and managing people? Because before this, I was doing it all from my home. It was a virtual business. So the moment I jumped into the business, I knew that it's collapsing because one, I wasn't prepared to deal and lead with people one on one in the office. I had no experience of how to actually run a physical office, a real office. And two, I personally hated going to the office because it wasn't who I am. And I just carried on for about 4 or 5 months, and eventually I said, hey, this is not who I am, this is not what I want, it's actually making me more miserable. I just said, hey, I don't want to go ahead with this shit. Let's just stop here. Let's just minimize the loss and go back to who I was. So that's number one. If your goal or if your lifestyle goal is to relax on the weekend, have fun, go out with your family on the weekend, go out partying, then maybe starting a business is not something that you should consider, because you may not be able to do all these things if you are working on growing your business. There's a lot that you may have to sacrifice. If you want to spend time with your friends every single day, maybe you should really consider the thought of starting a business, because that may not be a possibility when you're starting and growing a business. The other factor that you want to consider is, why exactly do you want to start a business? Is it to prove it to someone in your family? Or like all the movies, like all the famous stories that go out in the movie, hey, you got dumped by somebody and now you just want to start a business and build the next $1 billion company just to prove a point to the person who dumped you. Is that the reason that's driving you to start this company? Maybe it's a decision driven by your ego and not by who you really are. You see, what I believe, I think you would agree with me on this, is that not everybody needs to build the next $1 billion company. In fact, not everybody needs to build a company that's huge with thousands of people working under you or under me, right? We all don't need to do that. We all just need to be aligned with who we are and who we believe we are and what makes us happy. Because like Tony Robbins says, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Although you may actually build $1 billion company, but if that's not who you are, if that's not aligned with your lifestyle goals, would you really have succeeded in life if you aren't fulfilled? So I think that's a really important question to consider before you jump on to start a new company or before you jump on to be an entrepreneur. I also like Tim Ferriss's blog and his podcast. And a lot of stuff that he does which really makes sense, because I feel like he's someone who focuses on fulfillment, which is important because for him his lifestyle goals are important and all his decisions are driven by his lifestyle goal. So again, you really want to consider, is your business goal, is your dream of becoming an entrepreneur aligned with your lifestyle goal and who you really want to be and who you really are at the core? There's no shame in starting a company that just has 5 people working, as long as you are happy and you are fulfilled. Again, not everybody has to be an entrepreneur. For some people, just working for a company and helping the company grow works fine, because that's who you are. You want to enjoy your weekends, you want to take your vacation. There's nothing wrong about that. So before you consider jumping into entrepreneurship, make sure that you have answered these questions and you have taken the time to think about it seriously. Because a lot of people come to me and do programs on entrepreneurship and starting a business, and the first thing I ask them is one question, and I get them to think about it really seriously, deeply. Because 8 out of 10 people who come to me to talk about their entrepreneurial dream have no freaking idea about the kind of hard work it would take, about the kind of stress that it comes with, about the kind of focus that it would need, and about the kind of sacrifices that they would have to make to achieve their dreams. If you're cool making the sacrifices, pretty awesome. Please do it. But even if you're cool making the sacrifices, and even if you end up building a company that's hugely successful, congratulations. But does that fulfill you? Does that make you happy with the kind of lifestyle that you are living? I think I have given you enough to think about. I have given you enough questions to consider. So make sure that you put all these questions on a paper and think about these questions carefully. Still at the end of this process, feel like, hey, you know what? Something that I have planned for my business is exactly in line with my lifestyle goals and who I am and the kind of life I want to live. And once I become successful, it will fulfill me. Congratulations. That's the time you really want to go ahead with starting your company. But before that, I would really spend time in introspecting and answering these questions. Even if you have a slight bit of hesitation, reconsider. Think about what's stopping you. Unless you are 100% sure, don't jump into it because it's just going to make you miserable. Only when you're 100% sure, only when you have a yes to all these questions, go right ahead, because that's when you'll be fulfilled and that's when your business will thrive and grow. Because even if you are into your business at 99.9%, trust me, I have seen and I have personally experienced this. You will struggle, be frustrated, be stressed, and it's not a great place to be living at. Because I have been there. Honestly, isn't the best place to be living at. It's the worst way to live. So make sure that you have these questions answered, and if you have anything in specific to ask me, please drop me a message on the Facebook page. And if you are already into business, if you already have a business that's been running for a while, awesome. I think this is a good exercise for you too, because maybe you discover a new path in your business. Maybe you want to restructure your business model after you go through a series of questions. But it's really important, because you don't want to be at the end of your life thinking that, hey, I am successful, but where is the fulfillment? What does the success count for? Because why am I still unhappy even though I am successful? You don't want to be in this situation at the end of your life and wonder, where did it all go wrong? So no matter what stage of the business life cycle are you in, if you just have an idea, if you have a business that's been running for a few months, a few years, or if you have a business that's been around for decades, and if you're still not fulfilled, maybe this is a question that could completely change the game for you. Make sure you take the time to answer this question and think about it and consider it. Because life without fulfillment, success without fulfillment, like Tony Robbins says, is the ultimate failure. I hope that you find success while you find fulfillment. On this note, I'll talk to you in the next episode of the Marketing Nerdz podcast. It was awesome talking to you, and I'm really excited to be talking to you in the next episode. If you have any questions, please send them over on the Facebook page or drop us an email at info@themarketingnerds.com, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Look forward to talking to you in the next episode.